Leasing a car is often sold as the smart, low-commitment way to drive something new without the long-term headache of ownership. The ads promise lower payments, fewer worries, and the freedom to upgrade every few years. But the reality behind the contract is far more complicated. What looks like a bargain on the surface is often engineered to quietly drain your wallet in ways most drivers never see coming. Number 5. Buying the car at lease end is rarely a great deal. Many lessees assume that buying the car at the end of the lease is a safe fallback option, especially if they've grown attached to the vehicle. What most people don't realize is that the buyout price, called the residual value, was locked in years earlier and often favors the dealer, not the customer. That number is calculated conservatively to protect the manufacturer, meaning it can be higher than the car's real-world market value. Even if the car has only been driven around 30,000 to 36,000 miles, the price you're offered may not reflect current depreciation trends. Dealers know emotional attachment plays a role, and they count on it. By the time lease end arrives, many drivers feel pressured to accept the buyout rather than start over. This psychological leverage is part of the strategy. In many cases, comparable used vehicles with similar mileage can be found for less money elsewhere. There's also the financing side to consider, which is rarely discussed up front. If you decide to buy the car, you're often forced into a new loan with interest rates that may be worse than when you first leased. That means you're suddenly paying interest on a car you've already been making payments on for years. In effect, you end up paying twice for the same depreciation period. Dealers benefit whether you buy or walk away, which is why the terms are structured this way. The lease wasn't designed to give you flexibility, it was designed to preserve dealer profit at every exit point. For many drivers, purchasing the same model used from the open market would have been the cheaper move from the start. The lease buyout just feels convenient, not economical. Number 4. You're still on the hook for wear and tear. Leasing creates the illusion that the car isn't really your problem, but that's only partially true. Every lease contract includes a wear and tear clause that defines what's considered acceptable, and the standards are often stricter than people expect. Small dents, curb-rashed wheels, windshield chips, and tire wear can all trigger charges. What looks like normal daily use to you may be flagged as damage during inspection. At lease end, the vehicle is scrutinized inch by inch, often under harsh lighting and detailed checklists. Even minor cosmetic flaws can turn into line item fees. Dealers rely on these assessments as a consistent source of extra revenue. Most drivers don't realize how subjective the process can be. The real problem is that many lessees don't budget for these charges. After making predictable monthly payments for years, a surprise bill for several hundred or even several $1,000s can feel like a punch to the gut. Tires are a common trap, since leases often require a minimum tread depth at turn-in. Replacing a full set of tires right before returning, the car can cost more than the penalty for keeping worn ones. That forces drivers into an unpleasant calculation at the very end of the lease. This setup benefits the dealer no matter which choice you make. Either you pay for repairs or you pay the fees. Leasing shifts risk away from the manufacturer and directly onto the driver, even though the car was never technically theirs. Number 3. Mileage limits are a profit trap. Mileage limits are one of the most misunderstood parts of leasing. At first glance, caps like 10,000 or 12,000 miles per year sound generous enough for the average commute, but real life rarely stays average. Job changes, longer drives, road trips, and unexpected errands all add up quickly. Once you cross that mileage threshold, every additional mile becomes a liability. The per-mile penalties may seem small on paper, but they stack up fast over thousands of miles. By lease end, those overages can rival the cost of major repairs. Dealers know most drivers underestimate how much they actually drive. What makes this worse is how expensive those miles are compared to real depreciation. The penalty rate often exceeds what the vehicle actually loses in value per mile. That means you're paying a premium simply for the privilege of driving the car you're already paying for. Some drivers try to save miles toward the end of the lease, avoiding trips or driving less just to minimize penalties. That behavior alone proves how restrictive the system is. Leasing turns everyday driving into a calculation rather than a convenience. In many cases, purchasing the vehicle outright would have cost less once mileage freedom is factored in. The mileage cap isn't there to protect the car, it's there to protect the dealer's resale margins. Number 2. The monthly payment can be manipulated. One of the most powerful illusions in leasing is the low monthly payment. Dealers know that most shoppers focus almost entirely on that number. As a result, the lease structure is engineered to make the payment look attractive, even if the overall deal is poor. Money factors, hidden fees, acquisition charges, and term lengths can all be adjusted behind the scenes. Two leases with the same car can have dramatically different total costs, even if the monthly payment looks nearly identical. This flexibility allows dealers to steer customers toward deals that maximize profit. Transparency is not the goal, control is. Because leasing jargon is unfamiliar to most people, it's easy to gloss over critical details. The money factor, which functions like an interest rate, is rarely explained clearly. Small changes in that number can cost you hundreds or thousands over the lease term. Fees are often rolled into the payment, making them easy to ignore. Even the length of the lease can be stretched just enough to shave a few dollars off the monthly figure. The result is a deal that feels affordable but quietly costs far more than expected. Leasing isn't about giving you the best value. It's about getting you to sign, and once you do, the structure ensures the dealer stays ahead. Number 1. You're paying for the most expensive part of the car. The biggest truth car makers don't want you to focus on is what leasing actually covers. Leases are designed around the period when a vehicle loses value the fastest. The first few years of ownership account for the steepest depreciation curve. By leasing, you're paying almost exclusively for that decline in value. When the lease ends, the dealer takes the car back just as depreciation slows down. That timing is not accidental. It allows the dealer to resell the vehicle or lease it again, while avoiding the most expensive ownership phase. From the driver's perspective, this means you're always paying top dollar without ever building equity. Month after month, your payments disappear with nothing to show for them. You never reach the point where the car becomes cheaper to keep. Instead, you're encouraged to roll straight into another lease and repeat the cycle. This creates a loop of perpetual payments that benefits the manufacturer far more than the consumer. Leasing keeps drivers locked into constant depreciation instead of eventual ownership freedom. It's convenient, polished, and heavily marketed, but financially, it's one of the most efficient ways to keep you paying forever. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Until next time.